We have Evelyn here who just got a job offer in, I don't know, it was like 40, let's see. We started on 8/25 and you accepted the offer yesterday?
I did.
Yeah, so a month and a week, something like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Always happy when I can help you guys as fast as possible. So I'm re-recording, this is a video. I don't like to script them because then we're like, people are wearing ties and they're like, okay, yeah.
Okay, well, I want to start with this then.
Go ahead.
When I hired you and to be, my consultant and hero through all of this to guide me through, you said to me, and I did it, you said, write this date down. You said, you've already got your resume and your LinkedIn, write this date down, October 15th. You will have a job before October 15th. And you nailed it. You nailed it.
Because you have to demand it and you have to make a claim to it.
Right.
We talk about writing stuff down, right? If we don't write anything down, we're not going to remember anything. You know, if we're not going to do the activity, the right activity required, there's no way you're going to reach your goals. It's not possible, right?
That's right.
So we have Evelyn here, who's a executive leadership and training, the best of the best, right? Who had a resume that didn't say that. And by the way, you need to have a resume that says how you've managed and trained 25,000 people in 15 industries. And you need to put your awards at the top, not at the bottom. So people, when they're looking at it, right, when they're viewing you. Okay, so a little about you. Why did you decide to work with me? How about we start there? So I got just 3 questions.
Okay.
Why did you think you needed help?
I know I needed help because I had been on the job market back in 2017 and 18, and I was not getting hits on my resumes at all. I'd redone my resume like 3 times, so the applicant tracking systems weren't finding what they needed to find to qualify me. And all these jobs I was applying for, I was exemplarily qualified for, but nobody was biting.
Because you're defending your resume and stuff to, human resources professionals or a recruiter.
Right.
Right.
So I decided that I needed some help in doing this because I hadn't been interviewing and out there for 15 years. So I went to the LinkedIn program and recruited some recruiters to respond to my needs. And I liked your proposal the best. First of all, you were the first one to reach out. And secondly, I liked your program and you sold yourself well, which made me think you could help me sell myself well. So that's why I needed your help, was I needed to get my resume up front so I could get more leads. And I needed help on just some of the interviewing now because it's so different.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in front of someone, that's when you can really sell yourself the best. But having to do it on the phone is not always easy.
Yeah.
So,
another thing too is you didn't even tap into, a lot of people say, I don't have a network. I've already reached out to my network.
I had, but not in the right way.
Exactly. We're talking to people. I'll never forget this. That guy like 19 years ago, I was like, hey, if you know someone 20 years ago, they are probably in a position to help you now. They're probably a director, a VP, or something if they've had a decent career, right?
When I found out that guy just retired in December, he wrote me back finally and said, yeah, hey, I retired in December, but then I joined this other consulting firm.
Yeah.
So I started laughing. I wrote him back and I said, okay, well, you weren't retired for very long, but yeah, so we're going to connect up. We just haven't set a time yet.
Awesome. Yeah, because if you just message your network saying, hey, I'm looking for a job, who do you know? I mean, they're not going to respond to you.
Well, because they don't know what you want and they don't know how to help you, right? It's like you're asking too much of them when you do that.
And this is someone coming from, you've worked at all the big companies. You've worked at Microsoft, you've had successful careers, so this isn't something that just doesn't frequently happen to people at your level, right? So what struggles, I know we didn't work together that long, but did you have any struggles working through this until you got your job offer? New concepts that we went over, LinkedIn strategies that we talked about?
I absolutely did. You introduced me to a whole nother way to network, and I'm not comfortable selling myself. Even it's funny coming from someone who, helps salespeople be better, but I'm not really great at selling myself. And knowing how to, I'm not comfortable reaching out to people to ask for favors, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your whole approach to reach out to people and truly connect with them and find out what's going on with them, and then then the conversation naturally happens. Like, well, what are you up to? And well, I'm job searching, and do you know anybody? And blah blah blah. So
Network like you don't need a job.
Right. And I will also say the thing that helped me the most, and if you play this for anyone else, they should know this, is I did everything you said.
Yep.
Because someone had just left your group who had gotten a job, and they said, do everything he says and you will make success. And I did. I filled out my spreadsheet with everything you told me to do, the list of companies, the list of people I knew. And I have to tell you, just from filling out the people that I knew, contacts, oh my gosh, I started feeling better already. I'm like, wow, I know a lot more people than I ever realized I did. And that really helped me a lot. That gave me a lot of confidence, because I didn't have a lot of confidence at that point. And the other struggle I had was that feeling like I'm too old. Like,
yeah.
am I getting discriminated against because of my age? And when you talked about turning that into a positive around, no, it's that you have experience. That also helped me change my attitude about it all.
Someone who's 30,
good enough.
Yeah, so someone who's 30 years old, for people watching this video, is not going to come in and train an organization of 5,000 sales professionals. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's just not. You need to have that experience. And yeah, just like Pam and Chris, I think, were the two people. Both of them said, I was in this program for a while, seeing people get results. And then actually it only took me a couple weeks to get a job, but I was in here for 3 months, right?
Well, and Pam was a good example too, because, and I encourage everyone to watch your videos. And we've talked about your videos before, but there's a lot of good stuff in them, because even though he's talking to someone else, and some of the conversations you had with Pam, I was like, okay, I'm not the only one that feels so bad and is depressed and want to kill myself because I can't find a job and I'm so experienced.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great to realize that you're not alone, and that, and then the group calls were very helpful too, to hear what everyone else was facing and going through. And they're just as experienced and expert in their field, and we're, around the same age. So that really made a big difference.
And I'm making them do the same thing that I had you do, which is, let's figure out who's in your network, regardless if you reach out to them. So in the group, it's like you have those other people targeting probably the same big, large organizations, if you're targeting that, who might say, hey, I actually know someone that I can get you in there, or something along those lines, right?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this a long time, and I wanted to share it with you. So it's kind of like, I saw this in a movie once. It's about the alcohol anonymous and drug addiction people, and they say, the program works, so work the program. So that's what we're going to say about your stuff. The program works, so work the program.
Awesome. Last question I have for you. What advice do you have someone who's out there doing it on their own, applying for jobs, no one's reaching out, they're going on interviews, no one's willing to help them? At what point do you say, hey man, you need someone to help you?
If I would say, if you have been in that situation for a month or more, get over it. Get some help. Hire Tim. Worth the investment in yourself. Making an investment in yourself changed my whole attitude. because I was putting money down on the table and investing in getting my career. And now I went from, the minute I did that, I went from looking for a job, any job, to looking for the right job. And that made a big difference because it helped me focus more on what I really wanted.
And this is someone coming who is a leadership and development expert who has a doctorate degree. So I don't think we could get any more someone who values training, who is still kind of skeptical and finally made the decision to say, hey, and fortunately you got the rewards of it, right? So
Right.
kudos to you.
The also that I could pick up the phone anytime and get on, connect with you and or Kara, and you guys could say, okay, calm down. This is doable. Let's talk this through. Let's role play it a little bit. And then, you know, to be able to do that was just amazing, because you can go online and you can read all the articles you want, but get online with somebody who can help you, who knows how to get through the system. That's the smart thing to do. You know, it's like when you're a hiring manager, hire people that are smarter than you.
And by the way, almost everyone I helped over the past couple years has hired a bunch of people.
Yeah.
They've helped people revise their resume, their LinkedIn, they gave them coaching, and then they find themselves in the same exact situation. So
here's part of my strategy going forward. Is while I've taken this job, it is a consultant job and you only get paid when you're working. They have a 90% retention rate. So, and they've had people working for them 10 years under the same program. And they service all the big companies. Microsoft, Amazon, T-Mobile, Boeing, Concur, you name it, Expedia, they service all those. So this is my strategy in taking this job. One, I get to leverage my expertise in kind of a new area. So while there's some learning and development in my first consulting gig that they signed me up for, it's also expanding my capabilities around relationship building, communication, being a liaison between departments and bringing them together, and business. And it's right up at the top. It's right under the chief of staff for the VP of Microsoft Services Division globally, which is huge. So I'm back up to the top now. And I will be back inside Microsoft. So opportunities to connect and continue to build my network there are great. And if I get the next job at Amazon or T-Mobile or wherever, then I can continue to build my network at these places. So when and if I want to stop consulting and have another dedicated job at a company, I'm going to continue to build my network using my spreadsheet that you have me set up.
That's the one thing when individuals leave this program that I tell them, hey, you got the results. Great for you. I'm so happy for you. If you're a VP and you want to be a chief training, chief learning, the next role, you're a director, you want to be a VP in a couple of years, you have to continue to build relationships and have conversations with people. There is no job posted online for the VP of whatever at Microsoft, probably the guy that you just of global operations, the Ashley Furniture chief learning officer, right? Those are not posted online. You're going to get that through your expertise and networking. So if you value your career and you want to move up, right, and you want to make a bigger impact on organizations and be compensated accordingly, this is so important.
Yep, it is.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing.
Sure.